Hey guys, we are back for another Bleach Brave Souls showcase. I recently showcased the technique Quincy Ichigo, so today we are going to be taking a look at the new speed TENSA ZANGETSU. We'll go ahead and briefly look at the build that we have for him. We do have him at 2 out of 5, so that is more than okay for me, especially on his initial banner. So let's look at his kind of bonus abilities before we get into the accessories and all that. We have the very basic full stamina damage boost and weaken defense. The way that I kind of like to look at this unit, if you guys want to kind of put him in a vacuum, is I think he is a very similar version of the 1000 Year Blood War Heart Ichigo based on his abilities, but you can also throw in the fact that he is a booster. So the one major difference between the two to me is that there is no complete status immunity like Ichigo has, but what this guy does bring to the table is he is immune to fire, and then we also have the triple boost like I said. So like what Ichigo doesn't do is what this guy is doing, where he is a droplet, a super link, and also a link slot potion booster. So we have increased melee damage, increased damage to enemies not inflicted by an ailment, like I said, akin to what Ichigo has, then hit hidden enemies and pierce iron skin. We got Havoc, we have +1 Frenzy. I wouldn't say he's as good as the Ichigo, but his value to the table that he brings with his boost ability for all this stuff makes him very good for farming. This guy was basically made to shred up the inheritance trial, so I want to go ahead and take a look at him in that neutral environment where he is going to be kind of like going crazy, right? He is not a human killer to my knowledge, so he is just a Soul Reaper killer, so he's not going to have that additional killer effect. But what I think you guys are going to be seeing in this video in specific is just a very kind of modest setup for what this guy can bring to the table, right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop in. Yeah, so this is an interesting unit, I think. I'm very intrigued to see how he does. This is going to be like a speed showcase. Oh, get auto off. Nope. Okay, so one thing to know is that he does not have immunity to this paralysis, right? So like we can't just run up in here and like just sit and, you know, take that, right? So we kind of have to be careful, but you guys can see he is doing a lot of damage and also piercing the iron skin that the inheritance trial does bring to the table. So like he is just like, that was one run right there, right? Like he shredded that, right? So I want to go ahead and take a look. Like it's remember, this is like inheritance trial. These guys are not pushovers by any means, and it's just like easy one shots, quick recharge time. We have, you know, a fortification pill. We have easy. I guess this will be another good opportunity to show you like what is he gonna look like without that full stam, unless he gets it right here. No, he does not. But you guys can see the damage he is doing is still very, very impressive, right? The defense isn't great, and of course I get lacerated. But like even without the full stamina damage boost here, you guys can still see we're doing quite a significant amount of damage to these enemies. What I have to make sure I don't do is mess around and find out and end up dying with these bullets. So yeah, they're shooting these guns at me, and that's what keeps getting me, right? But like you guys can see that this is just like, in terms of like characters the inheritance trial, this is exactly what you're looking for, right? Like he is just doing uber amounts of damage, and he is really just shredding through this. And these are level 120 enemies, so like the co-op version would probably be the better way to look at this, but there we go. Kind of a quick environment there. So let's take him into not there. Let's just kind of take him through a gauntlet real quick of not so crazy content. Like that was the inheritance trial, by the way. That's, like I said, that's not a pushover. Like, and he's also boosting the amount of pots you get. That is a very solid unit. So let's go ahead and do I don't know. Let's go into the enriched droplet zone like we did with Ichigo, and we'll see how he does, because he is also a droplet booster in there. And then this time we will throw Hanataro on the team, Chad Nataro. Go ahead and bring him so we can get those additional droplets. I believe Akon is a booster for that as well, so let's just go ahead and do the ×10, get all this fun stuff going, and then we will go up and get on out of here. Again, I just want to show you a quick version of this just so you're not here all day, but you guys can see that this is a very solid unit who's doing a ton of damage. And, you know, not really doing, like, he's not, like, I wouldn't say he's as good as Ichigo, but just for a premium pool unit that is triple boosting all 3 of the items, it is very important. Like, you guys have to understand, especially if you are newer to the game, this is one of the most valuable things that you can have, is a unit that is not only doing boosting super pots, but also boosting the regular pots that you're going to be farming and droplets. So it's like when it comes to characters that can do all of this farming stuff, when a unit is this good and doing this much amount of damage, it's really important, because not only can you bring them to boost the stuff, you can also use them in the content. So if you pull this guy, you have your all-in-one package for the inheritance trial, which inherently, no pun intended, is very difficult, right? Like if you go do the co-op version of this and you're trying to farm that efficiently, 4 of these guys are going to absolutely light this up. But there are also characters like Christmas Noel and stuff like that, and those are kind of the characters that you would want to use to do this. So let's go ahead and get the game audio going. We'll do the soul bomb and we'll get out of here. Okay, so a badass soul bomb. I love that, like the world of Zangetsu and all that, and, you know, Ichigo's inner mind. I think that's a really cool concept for a soul bomb. And this Zangetsu, I guess what we'll close this out with, actually, is just, I adore this art. I actually am a huge fan of how they did this. I know it's really simple, but for a premium unit, I am such a fan of how they did this art, right? Like, let's just quickly take a look at it. Like, this is just a really good looking art, right? It kind of reminds me of the Fierce Battle Ichigo, where he's pointing the sword at Byakuya. But just like, look how good that looks, right? I love the facial expression, the way the hair is moving, all that. It's just a really cool unit. So let me know down below, were you guys able to pull this guy? Are you skipping this banner? Are you waiting for the solo? All that fun stuff. What do you guys think of this Zangetsu? And that's all I got for you in today's video. Catch you guys in the next one.